Hi, everybody. This is going to be our 60 Days to Diamond call on success leaves clues. So we had to change our schedule around a little bit, and so this one was, I kind of threw this together, and I thought we had our first call on the Power Hour. Last week was Easter, and we had a recording for you all to listen to, and I wanted to give you kind of some tips today and make you realize that, there's really nothing magical that the leaders are doing and the people that are successful in this business. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about all of that today. Let me share my screen. I'm not technological, you guys, so I will do my best here. All right. I'm going to share. Maybe I can just do this. Let's see what happens. All right, it looks like it works. All right, good. Okay, so I called this call Success Leaves Clues. And I think as you get into this, you'll see that there's no like magic. Well, I guess there is like some magic things that you have to do, but it's nothing that's like a secret that no one knows. So I liked this quote because it says, success depends on the second letter, and that is you. And I guarantee that if you asked any elite coach, any diamond coach, 2-star, up to 15-star, they would tell you that the way they got there is from themselves. No one got them there for them. They did the work, they worked hard, they made the decision and just committed to that. So, no matter where you are placed in someone's downline, no matter, if you're their first coach or their 50th coach, it's really up to you to make this work. And we have all of the tools provided for you guys with the trainings and the calls we do, and not even just within Inspired Life, but in our upline and the things that are available to you. And so, it really comes down to you. So, go to the next one here. So the secret sauce is simple, and we're not going to get to that quite yet, but I think first you have to ask yourself these questions. And I think about when I was starting out as a coach, and some of you may know my story and may not, but I stumbled upon this kind of as a fluke. I had no idea what it meant to be a coach, and when I found about the opportunity, I realized that I had kind of found something that was perfect for me. And I made that decision in my first weekend of going through all of the training. I did my training in about 3 days. I made the decision at that point that I was going to go diamond in 60 days, which I knew nothing what that meant. I didn't even know how you get to diamond, but I wrote it down. I remember I had a backside of a manila envelope, which I hope you guys, when you are going through your training, have a notebook where everything is in one place. I kind of have one every year unless I run out of space. You have a notebook that you're writing on in one space, and so you can go back to that. So I wrote down this date, 60 days from when I was going to start, and that was when I was going to be diamond. I had no idea how I was going to do it. I went through those trainings, and I was engaged. I, was commenting. The trainings are in Facebook groups. There's a place where you can, usually at the end of, let's say, day one, maybe there's an activity that's asked for you to do, or, questions to answer. I was engaged. I was active. I was all in from the beginning. And so I kind of decided that I was going to give this 2 years. So when you ask yourself, write down these questions. Why do you want this? Like, why do you want to have your own business? Obviously, we always talk about our why. And then what is your objective? Is your objective to pay for your kids' childcare, monthly? Is it, think long-term too? A coach on the market council with me just retired her husband, and he was able to give his notice at this job and be home. And I know that's a lot of coach goals. Is it to make a certain amount of money so you can quit your current job? You really need to know what those are. Or is it just to, help some friends and family and, not go at this and make this a career? Because that's going to change how you spend your time and your activities in this business. And then, if you have those bigger goals of creating a full-time income, are you really willing to do the work? And I think that's kind of one of those like punches in the gut, because there is no coach in the elite coaches or, any of those ranks I listed that has not done the work, you guys. I can tell you, since July 11th, 2014, I have shown up every single day to this business. Now, do I sit at my computer for 3 to 4 hours every single day? No, but I show up on Facebook every day. I'm checking in on my challenge groups. I'm doing the programs. I'm drinking my Shakeology. This has become my entire life. And I can guarantee you that is what these top coaches, if you were to survey them, would tell you. So that is kind of the secret sauce, which we're going to get into right here. So this is the big secret. It's a secret that's not a secret. The 3 vital behaviors are the key to being successful in this business. Now, if you were at a Super Saturday event and you watched the Beachbody video that was played, they talked about the 3 vital behaviors, which there's actually 4. I totally screwed up on that. Sorry about that. I'll get to the 4th one. They just changed it and made 4th, and I forgot that. So if you're at the Super Saturday, they surveyed, or they were interviewing a bunch of coaches, all different rank coaches, and about the 3 vital behaviors. And every single one of them said that it was non-negotiable for their business. I know you guys heard a lot. This is nothing that should be new to you unless you're a brand new coach and you haven't gone through your training. They asked these coaches what the 3 vital behaviors mean to them. People said, these were their answers. I was taking notes. The 3 vital behaviors is a gut check to them. So they can sit there at the end of the day and say, did I get these things done? And if not, there's that gut check. You are not going to grow a successful business without that. The 3 vital behaviors are their lifeline. So it's just what keeps their business moving forward. And then also the magic behind the business. So just to go into a little detail more about this, then they also asked them, what is the hardest vital behavior for each coach? A lot of them said personal development. Another thing I'll tell you is if you were to survey top coaches and you ask them when their business finally took off, I guarantee you probably 85% of them would say when they started reading personal development. So I want you guys to ask yourself, are you reading personal development? I gotta say, I'll be completely honest, it's a hard thing for me to get in, and I don't do it every day. And when I don't, I'm really upset with myself that I don't. If you have not started that, you guys, that is a key to being a leader. That is a key to having a successful business. Yes, you need to go on. What? Thank you. Okay. She has a tea party upstairs when I'm done, ready to go. Sorry for that interruption. Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, bye-bye. See, we work from home, right? We roll with the punches. So personal development. If you have not read a personal development book yet, the book I start all of my coaches with, and the reason I do this is because I started it myself this way, is called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. If you don't have it, I want you to get it. It's a very short book. It's an easy read. It is, so personal development is kind of a funny one for me because my husband was always huge in this, and he always was reading personal development and always trying to get me to read personal development, and I would not do it. I wanted nothing to do with it. But when I became a coach, I told you I went all in, and so I did whatever they told me to do. And they were telling me to do personal development, 10 minutes or 10 pages a day. So I started with the slight edge, and it was like brain exploding. It changed my world. It made me look at things so differently. It explains how these little tiny things that we do daily build into this big, huge thing long term. So that's where the 3 vital behaviors come in. So if you're doing these things daily, little bit by little bit by little bit, that is when the momentum starts to pick up. Another thing I want you to think about, there's a lot of suggestions for personal development, but I want you to really, another gut check, think about what are your weaknesses. So, as this is a push to diamond group, and, you all are working to get to diamond. And so maybe something we're going to talk about in a little while is fear. And so maybe you've never had really a leadership role. As a mother, we are leaders to our family. But, when we have to go outside of our little circle, it can be really scary. And you don't want to micromanage people, and you want to inspire and lead in the right ways. So, if you've read those key books like The Slight Edge and maybe You're a Badass, which is another huge favorite of mine, maybe a book on leadership is something that can benefit you. And I will post in the Diamond group by tomorrow some lists of good leadership books that you guys can look into. So you just really need to think about where are areas that you can grow, because if you're not growing and learning and changing, then that's part of what we do as a coach. So it's really, really important. You guys, I don't want you to miss it. I don't want you to skip it. If you have to wake up 10 minutes earlier, do it. It is just as important as your workout and your inviting and being a product of the product. It has to be a priority. I tell you, it will be a game changer. For one, you will have these little nuggets when you're reading the book. And, if you have a, paperback, I have a Kindle, but I've gone back to my paperback because I love to write and underline and highlight and, hold the page down and then go back and use those things in your posts on social media. Post a picture. You don't just have to post your sweaty selfie. You can post a sweaty selfie or that you finished your workout and talk about your big aha moment you had from your personal development book that you read that day. Provide information for people. Don't just be, a source of look what I did today, but share with people, inspire people that way. And you will have so much good content if you're reading books. And you should really, for sure, be doing at least 1 book a month. I put on my vision board this year that I wanted to read 2 books a month. I think it's really, really important. Okay, sorry. Product of the product. I went a little long-winded on the personal development. Product of a product. You guys know what that means. It means you need to be doing the workouts and you need to be drinking Shakeology. But something that I've noticed doing this now for a little over 1.5 years is that I see a lot of coaches that, one, find a program and do it for a really long time. There's new programs coming out and they're still doing the 21-day fix or the 21-day fix extreme or, P90X, something. I think that's great. But I think it's really, really important for you to know these programs so you can recommend them to people. Now, do I most of the time recommend 21-day fix to new customers? Yes, because it's an amazing program for them to get started, for them to learn the container systems. It's a good beginner level program. But if you're only doing those, these people that come to you and they're their customer are your customers and buy programs, eventually they're going to get burnt out on doing something. My max of doing a program is about 4 months, 2 rounds if it's a 60-day program. I did 21-day fix when I was a customer, 4 rounds, and I was just done. I needed something new. So you need to be doing these new programs so you know what to recommend to them. You know what they're like. If they need weights. If it's a program that somebody with knee problems can do. Of course, you can always write those questions in the team pages and asking, but you guys talking about these new products coming out, ordering them right away, rolling into a new program. If you haven't noticed, Beachbody rolls them out in just enough time for you to start one program. If it's a 60-day program, either do one round of it, and usually there's another one coming out. I think we get about 3 to 4 programs a year, plus all the stuff on demand. So you need to be doing those. And they're constantly tweaking things and constantly improving. And so I think the results people are going to see as we go along are going to be really great. Speaking of that, I want to talk a little bit on a little tangent. Autumn was in Phoenix, Autumn Calabrese from the 21 Day Fix, Extreme, and from Hammer and Chisel. Oh my goodness. Was in Phoenix. And so I had the pleasure of spending Friday night at a small dinner with her where she did a Q&A where people could ask questions. And I had this kind of aha moment. And she spoke on something on Hammer and Chisel that I found really interesting, and I want you guys to understand, because I think a lot of coaches in the room were like, oh. So a lot of people did Hammer and Chisel and maybe didn't get these amazing transformations. Like maybe they were expecting. Maybe felt like there wasn't enough cardio or, whatever. So what she said is that they're starting to realize that, when you go in and you calculate what category you're in, starting to realize that was a little bit confusing for people. And so with the 21 Day Fix, I believe it asks you if you're male or female, and you add a point or 0 or a 1 or 0, and it kind of goes down. But on Hammer and Chisel, it asks you your activity level. And so she said what she found was that a lot of people were saying that they were very active. And so they were, don't quote me, I don't have the book in front of me, either adding a point or not. So it's putting them into the wrong category. And she said the only people that are really active, she said, if you're a Beachbody coach, you're not active. You guys, if you're sitting at a desk job, which as a coach, we are either on our phone, other than our 30 minutes we're working out, right? We're on our phone or our computers or maybe another job. I myself put myself as active because I really don't feel like I sit down all day except for when I'm working, which is a huge amount of time each day. And so she was like, no. The one coach that had raised her hand said, well, I am a mom to a 1-year-old. So yes, I'm active. And Autumn said, I don't want to be mean to any of you or upset any of you guys, but you're not active. So an active person is someone that is a personal trainer that is on their feet, lifting weights all day long. A nurse, a doctor that are constantly going. A nurse if you're, in a position where you're up on your feet and walking around constantly. My husband, he's a chiropractor. Like when he's in the office, he is adjusting people all day. He burns so many calories. So for him, he's like super active. So that all has to be adjusted into your program. Anyways, I thought that was kind of a big thing that I think you should share with your challengers. And she said that they're going to be taking that into consideration and modifying, maybe changing the book or putting out some sort of modification of how to calculate where you're at, because that was confusing to people. So, side note, little tangent, but I wanted you all to know about that. Okay, product of the product, we talked about that. You guys know you should be drinking Shakeology. If you are serious about this business, there is no question you should be on Shakeology HD. Every single month should be coming to your house. Not a question, unless you're like allergic to it and something crazy like that. And then inviting. And you guys, for me, I would say this is my, like, if the 3 vital behaviors, I have one that's the most difficult for me, it's inviting. But I don't want you to think of inviting as you're having to like kind of cold call or message people where it's like, hey, you want to join my challenge group? That's not what it's about. I want you to think of inviting as like connecting and forming those relationships with people. So, and also you're inviting through your posts. So you don't have, your only invitation post doesn't need to be a big call to action post. So, if you post a picture of your after workout, sweaty selfie, and you talk about how amazing the workout is and, how it feels great to start your day, you can have this whole little blurb that you write, and then down at the bottom have a soft invite where you very gently say, if you want to join me, tap that like, or, comment interested, or send me a message, or get in touch with me. So, don't let that inviting scare you. You can invite multiple ways. And then obviously you're supposed to be connecting with new people on a daily basis. And again, that doesn't need to be that icky, join my challenge group, I think you would love it message, but more so like the, hey girls, how you doing? We haven't talked in so long. Your family's adorable. Glad to see you're doing so well. That's it. Just leave it at that and start the conversations with people. And in some of these diamond calls we have coming up, we're going to go into details on this kind of stuff to help you guys. Okay? Okay. The F word, fear. Autumn said when she was speaking to us at Saturday, I loved this quote. It was, learn to not just survive in uncomfortable situations, but to thrive in them. Autumn Calabrese. So, guys, I just feel like you have to, like, if you want to make this, if you have that goal of going diamond or 2-star or 5-star, like, you have to just, like, go all in. You have to, get the fear of what people will think out of your head. I know it creeps back in. I know it's scary. I experience it myself. Every time I post something, I start to think, oh gosh, what's this person going to think? What's this person going to say? And then I realize it doesn't matter what those people say or think, because I know that, that post is going to connect with someone and inspire someone out there. And the haters, they're going to hate, and everybody's going to have their experience where, they're going to hear that maybe someone doesn't like what they're doing. And that's fine. You just have to be able to block that out. Another fear I hear a lot from coaches is the fear of leadership. Maybe you see diamond as, oh my gosh, I'm going to have 8 coaches under me, and I'm going to have to run a team page, and I'm going to have to run, what is coaching groups and push to emerald groups and all of that. And that is not true, you guys. I do not want you to think that once you're diamond, you have this whole team you have to manage, and your workload gets really, really big. It doesn't. Once you go diamond, nothing is going to change. You're going to keep growing your team. You're going to keep working on recruiting. You're going to keep helping your challengers, and it's just going to naturally grow from there. There is no need for you guys. Can you create a team name and have a little personally sponsored coach group? Sure. I highly recommend that, but there is no reason for you to feel like you have to recreate the wheel. And when you're ready, you'll know. And, Nikki Whiting, I don't think she created her own team page until she was a 2-star or a 3-star. So everybody's different. You can choose to do it if you want to jump right in, but you can also just rely on the team pages. And also, I want you guys to know that once you go diamond, you get added to some special diamond groups where there is a lot of information for you. There is a Fitspiration diamond group, a TKO diamond group. The diamonds on Inspired Life, there's 9 as of right now, and we do regular Zooms. We all get together to plan groups like this. So I kind of felt like once I went diamond, I was like, the doors open, and a lot of things, you're exposed to a lot more at that point that can really help you in your business. Fear of not being good enough. And fear of not inspiring people. So I'm going to go back a little bit to one of the speakers we had at Super Saturday in Phoenix again, because I feel like he gave a really good analogy, and he had a puzzle piece. You guys know, like a little puzzle piece, right? And he talked about the anatomy of a puzzle piece, which I don't need to go into, but to sum it up a little bit quicker, it was that every single puzzle piece is different. And There's not one alike, whether it be the colors on the top of it, the picture, or the sides. They're all a little different, and that's how coaches are. And so, if there's one puzzle piece that all these other pieces fit around, and if that center piece was different, you would have all other different pieces around it. So if you think of it this way, that, somebody who connects with me, might not connect with the coach next to me. Somebody who connects with you might find my post totally annoying. And so if you aren't there showing up, those people that connect with you and with your story and with, the way you're running your business, they're not going to have anybody. You're their person. So every single person is different. Every single person will inspire someone. There is no mold that a coach or a top coach fits into. They come from every walk of life, male, female, short, tall, small, big, anything. Somebody with a fitness background, somebody that never thought they'd be in the fitness industry. So you have to shut the fear down. And I love this quote by Jen Sincero from You Are a Badass. And she said, when you succumb to fear, you are under the illusion that you can predict the future. If you really think about that, that's so true. If you think I can't do what these coaches do, it's not going to happen. Well, who says so? You guys, you can do anything you set your mind to. And, I think that it can be hard and it can be scary, but I want you to really have that belief in yourself. Really quick, I'm looking at my notes here that I had. I want to touch on product of the product a little bit more. If you guys have been stuck doing one or two programs, just depending on how long you've been a coach, I want you to find something new. 22 Hardcore is awesome, you guys, and I've been blown away at the different types of people that have been interested in it, that have come to me. It's not what I expected it to be. But so I kind of went back and I was like, okay, how many programs have I done? Started with 21 Day Fix, did that for a long time. Went to P90X3, T25, Insanity Max 30, 21 Day Fix Extreme, Hammer and Chisel, 22 Hardcore. I've added size in a little bit. But what I have done with each of these programs is I have completed them. So I have started them and I have finished them. I didn't stop in the middle. I didn't modify and do, Insanity Max 30 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and P90X3 on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. I followed the program because, you guys, that's what works. You need to follow the program because that's what your challengers need. You might have more knowledge of which workouts you like and don't like and what works for you, but they don't. They need that example of you starting, following it the way through, and finishing it. So if you have not, and taking before and after pictures and sharing them with your challenge groups. It's so big, you guys. It's so big. You are leading them. They are scared. They don't know what they're doing, and they need that guidance from you. One second. Turn on this light. It's getting dark. Okay, and then we talked a little bit yesterday at Super Saturday about Paretos Law, the 80-20. And, Liz actually on Friday night on the Q&A with Autumn asked her if she believes in the 80-20 rule when it comes to food. And I thought it was a really good question because, we tend to tell ourselves like, oh, well, I was really good for 80%. So this day I'm just going to let it all go and, eat whatever, drink whatever. And that's okay once in a while. And that's totally what Autumn said. But she was kind of like, no, it shouldn't be 80-20. If you're going to do it, commit, you guys. Really, really, really do it. Let yourself have, she said that she that she likes to follow the 21-day fixed meal plan. Like every day for her is the 21-day fixed meal plan, because she likes to have treats like chocolate and wine here and there. So you know what, if that works for you and that's what you can commit to, then do that. The majority of people will still get really good results, by following that plan alone. So this 80-20 kind of ties into everything. I liked this. 80% of your invites will be uninterested and 20% will be interested. You guys, everybody here knows, whether it's a leader, a 15-star diamond coach, whoever, everybody here knows. That's just part of it. It shouldn't get you down. You just need to keep going, because I guarantee you they will come around at some point and be interested. 80% business activity, and then 20% spent on your team. So I see this too with a lot of people when they go diamond, they like throw all of their time and attention into their team and running these groups and all of this stuff, and they forget their business. And I am totally guilty. I will tell you, at the end of last year when I had the elite push, I was so consumed with getting, rank locked in and people being active and making sure, that happened, that I let my business totally slide. I wasn't bringing in new customers. I was not probably supporting my own coaches very well. And that reflected by, I did not hit Success Club for the first time since I had become a coach in December. So for me, that was really, really learning experience. And so it's kind of made me reevaluate how I run my business in a lot of ways. And so I want you guys to know that, your business and your challengers needs to be your number one priority. And sometimes it's very easy to get, all those bright flashing lights to pull you away. And, these key things like hitting Success Club and doing the 3 vital behaviors are what grow a successful business. So don't let it slide. Don't let that, the team activity affect you and get you off track. And then another little thing is 20% of your team is going to produce 80% of your results. So I'm sure many of you have discount coaches, and many of you have coaches that come into the business saying they're going to be active and working the business. And, you can't control what someone else is going to do. So you can give them all of the tools, you can give them support, but you can't force them to do the activities. And it is for some people and it isn't for some people. And you have to realize that your time is better spent focusing on the 20% that, are all in and want it and understand and get it and are those go-getters. So yeah, don't spend your time trying to get people convinced that, they should be doing things like you are. It's not successful and you'll waste your time. And then back to the fear. Sorry, let me jump back here. I had another note. I also want you to know that it doesn't matter how many Facebook friends you have, when you're becoming a coach, how many Instagram followers you have. I wasn't even on Instagram when I became a coach. I think when I first opened it up, I transferred, linked some of my Facebook friends, and I think I had like 75 Instagram followers. Now I'm at over 5,000. So it doesn't matter if you live in a small town, a big town, if you have a lot of close friends, anybody can make this business successful, but you have to do the secret sauce, right? These daily activities and show up, because that's the difference, and that's what makes a successful business. Okay, let me go right here. All right. And then the last thing I want to talk about is you have to set your intention. So when we ran a Push to Diamond group back in October and November, I had everybody write out their I ams. And so these are kind of like daily affirmations. And I'm going to challenge you all to have 10 I ams. I want you to write them out and post them. I'll do a little post tonight with a little graphic that says your I ams. In the comment section, post your I ams. You know, we're all friends here. No one's judging. So what are you? But first, if you are really, truly working to be diamond, I want you to say, I am diamond. And I want you to like believe it and start acting like you're a diamond coach right now. I want you to do everything that you think a diamond coach would do. I want you to write them down on a piece of paper, type them up, however, and put them where you're going to see them all the time. I have some people that put them on the screen of their phone, you know, make a little graphic and then have them there. I've had people write them on their bathroom mirror because they see that every morning, first thing, and then every night before they go to bed. I want you to read them out loud, like say them out loud. I am, you know, whatever it is. I am a six-figure earner. I am a diamond coach. I am a wonderful parent, a wonderful mother. I am loving. I am caring. I am attentive to my children. It doesn't just have to be business related. It needs to be whatever you want to manifest and create in your life. So 10 of them. Think about them. You know what? If it pops into your head and you're like, oh my gosh, really? I don't know if I should write that. Write it down. It popped into your head for a reason, and it needs to be part of your IMs. And now I think one last thing I want to talk about is you guys need to put your blinders on as a coach. So comparison is the thief of joy, and it's really, really easy to let the fears and all those negative voices in your head start telling you, you know, maybe somebody did something faster than you, maybe somebody, you know, is in better shape than you, whatever it may be. Maybe their posts are better. There's always going to be somebody that's better. And you can't compare yourself because the way you are and what you're doing is exactly the way you should be right now. And you will grow and you will learn and you will continue your personal development and get better and improve upon yourself. I mean, if you don't have Time Hop, get Time Hop on your phone. It'll pull up your posts from the previous years. And as a coach, it's really fun to go back and see, you know, what your posts were like a year ago. It's kind of comical to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really posted that on Facebook. Oh, holy cow. So we all grow, we all change. And I'm sure a year from now, I'm going to look at the ones I posted yesterday and be like, really, Courtney, what were you thinking? So don't compare. Set your intention of where you're going to be. Give yourself a timeline and a date. And I don't want you to, I don't want you to make it like really far out. I want you to set, a lot of us I know have the goal to be diamond by May 18th. And I think that's totally doable. It's April 3rd today. You know, we've been in this group a couple weeks. Hopefully you're seeing the daily posts and advice from the diamonds and the leaders on this team on what to be doing. If not, you know, make sure you check in here once a day because we're posting some very valuable information. There's plenty of time for you guys to get to that date. Don't let that date be scary. So write it down that you will be diamond by May 18th. Fill in the little graph, the little diamond chart, you know, who's going to be on each leg, even if they're people you haven't even talked about coaching. And don't be scared of that. If it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world. But if you say to yourself, at least how I work, and I like to set goals that are really big, scary goals, because if I have a lot of time to do something, I tend to not apply myself until it's crunch time, if that makes sense. So I don't want to give myself a 6-month window that I'm going to be diamond in 6 months or a year. I want to give myself 6 weeks, 8 weeks, you know, whatever it is, and to make that happen. So don't be scared. Let the fear go away. I think that is all. Oh, the last one I said is, you guys, this business is life-changing. And when you put in the lap of the right person, amazing things can happen. And I say that at the end of one of the videos I have on YouTube, but I think it's so true. I feel like when this opportunity fell into my lap, it was, I couldn't even believe that it was actually possibility to grow a business. And now here I am, you know, a little over a year and a half later, and what has been created blows my mind. Like, I still don't think my husband thinks it's real. To me, going to these Super Saturdays and seeing all of these coaches, seeing all of you guys getting on these calls, like, it gives me chills. It's crazy. Like, they say all the time, be here in 1 year. And if you do the work and you put in the time, the way that it starts to grow, it's life-changing. It's crazy. And the last thing I just wanted to say was that, you know, Beachbody, if you go to the website, they say decide, commit, and succeed. And so maybe write that somewhere at the top of your IMs or something, because really think about that. I feel like you need to make the decision, you need to commit to it, and you will succeed as long as you do that. And I see you all working hard. I see your posts. I see you showing up. I see you getting on these calls, and you all deserve like a big round of applause. It's really, really, really great. So do you guys have any questions? I'd be happy to, let me go back to the main. Here we go. Stop. You guys have questions? I won't buy this. Anybody?
How often do they have Super Saturdays?
Super Saturdays are quarterly. So the next one is going to be August 6th. It'll be right after Summit. So it'll kind of be like a Summit wrap up. And sometimes they're not held on Saturday. It just depends on your area and who's planning them. Sometimes they will be on a Friday night or a Sunday. They'll call them Super Sundays, but it's going to be that weekend. So the weekend of August 6th is the next one. And I'm sure you guys, I'll post the video. I'll find it. I'm sure it's on Beachbody's YouTube, the video that was played at Super Saturday. And everyone is different. Like I said, we had Caleb Thomas. I'm sure if you've done our trainings, you've seen his videos. The YouTube sensation, he came in and spoke to us. And then Alyssa Schumacher, and she came from Pennsylvania. She's been a top 10 coach twice, and she was awesome. So like I said, everything's run differently. There could be multiple ones in your area. I would tell you that if there are multiple ones, try to figure out if there is one that is run by a market council in that city, because that is kind of guided a little bit more by corporate. The people that run those are selected by corporate, and so you know you're going to have some really good leaders to learn from at those events. Anything else? Please? Well, I hope that kind of inspired you guys, and we've got some great calls coming up over the next, I think we're at like 6 weeks left of this group. Write your questions in the Diamond group. We are always there to answer and help you guys. I'm always here. Shoot me a message, a Facebook message. I'm happy to help you. And if you know, I know sometimes maybe it'll be a coach that comes in and your upline maybe isn't as into the business as you are, and you maybe don't have the same goals, and that is totally, totally okay. Reach out to one of us and we'll take you under our wing. And if you want to take that leadership role in the team, you know, we are all about having that help and supporting you guys in your growth of your businesses and everything. So, all right. Thank you. I went a little longer than I like. I'm very winded. Sorry. Bye, guys. Have a good night.